Hey, how's it going everybody? Sarasota Tim. Coming to you from my home base here in Southwest Florida. And today I want to talk about a 2022 Honda Goldwing that I bought roughly a month ago. And I'm surprised that I actually bought it due to my ignorance of what they're really supposed to be like and drive like. How bad could it be? 6,000 miles, came with a full warranty, extended warranty. The previous owner had. The owner also, previous owner, has been two owners, I'm the third owner, in 6,000 miles. And so I was a little suspect about it. But I want to tell you something, and I'm telling you, I've never been happier in my life and more confident now. And I had some issues with this motorcycle, with the shifting. It's an automatic transmission. And I had people that meant well, but a lot of people were like, oh, sell it, it's a lemon, or call it the blue lemon, and all these different things, when the fact is, it was very simple fix. And so let me just try to tell you what it is. I bought this in Georgia and I live in Florida. I bought it from somebody that bought it from somebody that lived in Illinois. That's right. The guy that I bought it from flew to St. Louis, went to the guy's house, bought it from him, drove it back to Georgia, spent $5,000 on accessories, drove it, changed the oil and everything, 3,000 miles. It had 1,800 miles only on it when he bought it, and he wanted it because of the color. He didn't care that it was an airbag, but this one is an airbag model. And that color in 2022 only came on the airbag. And the airbag is like $3,000 more than the DCT Tour without the airbag. It's very, very expensive. But he wanted blue, and one thing he's got is plenty of money. So he bought it, flew up there to get it, like I said, drove it back. And then spent $5,000 on stuff that's way too many things to list. But I'm gonna skip that part right now. So I'm in Georgia traveling with this camper right here behind me, pulling it with this beautiful Ford truck I got right here. And I decided to go around and make some videos in the North Carolina mountains, and I go over to the famous Dragon, Tail of the Dragon. And what happened? I saw a Goldwing, a red one, a 2023, that was the prettiest thing I ever seen in my entire life. And I started getting the bug because this is my fourth Goldwing. I've had 3 others, and I've had, 2 or 3 Harleys. I've had a few motorcycles in my life. But when I hung up my boots some years back, it's been a while. I think the last Goldwing I bought was a 6, and then I traded that, sold it to a friend of mine, and bought a 08 Harley, an electric glide, full dresser. And then when I sold that, I didn't ride anymore. I went all the way across the country a couple of times, and I thought I was done until I saw that red Goldwing at the Dragon. So I started looking online and everything, and as luck would have it, I find this bike with 20, hang on a second. Sorry about that. The Amazon guy is looking for a unit in here, and he was asking for my help. I don't even know what I was saying, but I want to tell you this. The guy that bought it from the guy that owned it first and put all these extras on it and all that, I asked him, I said, well, why did the first guy sell it? Well, he had a lot of motorcycles and one had to go. Hey, whether it's true or not, or whether that's what the guy told him, who the hell knows, right? Then so I asked this guy, well, why are you selling it? You only put 3,000 miles on it. Well, I got a Ducati, and I bought a new camper trailer. I spent like $75,000. I got another motorcycle. I want to start doing some RVing and camping and, selling it. And obviously, the year he had it, he only put 3,000 miles on it. Now, I know a lot of people, like with RVs and Harleys, it's not uncommon to find them with low mileage because they're weekend riders, or for whatever reason, they're busy, they got prison jobs, they have to go to work. Me, I'm retired. And when I owned a motorcycle, I've never owned a motorcycle I didn't put 50 to 75,000 miles on. I've got I don't know, 250,000 or more miles under my belt from all the bikes that I've had. I've ridden them all across country. I'm a big time traveler. That's what I like to do. As luck would have it, I found out that I could get a flight for, I don't know, $50 back to Georgia. My daughter could pick me up. I'll just drive the bike down, enjoy it, right? Take a tour on it and drive it 500-600 miles back down to Florida. So I did that. And when I got here, the second I got here, the windshield all of a sudden got stuck and wouldn't go up and down. And then the engine, I thought I bought bad gas, or I put in, I was talking about it before, I thought I put in leaded fuel, because I did go to a gas station that had it. And I said, well, I don't want that, because I've seen that before. And I thought, did I accidentally put it in? Because the engine was going, it was kept oscillating. And I'm like, that isn't normal. That's definitely not normal. This thing's supposed to idle, not, back and forth. Anyway, you want to hear that again? Anyway, I go back to Georgia. I finish up my vlogging up there and enjoying myself for another month. And I come back and I get on the bike and I took a couple of rides on it, and everything was kind of like what it did what it was doing when I bought it. And I drove it a couple of days up there before I brought it back to Florida. And it wasn't doing the oscillating idle anymore. I thought, oh, I guess that gas, mixed in, or I don't know, something, it worked its way out. The computer learned. I'm just guessing. Don't guess. Wait till you hear this. Wait till you hear this. I'll bet there's a lot of people out there with Honda Goldwings with the DCT transmission that have no idea you don't even have a Goldwing. You say, what do you mean by that? I'll get to it. I promise. So the bike stopped doing the oscillating idle. The windshield seemed to work fine. I'm thinking, I'm good. I took a ride with my neighbor. He's got him a trike over there. We took a ride, and we're just kind of easing around. No problem. And this bike has 4 driving modes. 4. A tour mode, a sport mode, an economy mode, and a rain mode. And they're all distinct modes, especially that sport mode. When you put in that sport mode, you watch all the YouTube videos, these guys are like, this thing turned into a crotch rocket, a sport bike. And it really, really changes that engine. So I don't use sport mode much. I stay in the tour mode, which is the default mode that most everybody rides around in. Now the sport mode is like so much torque that, being an automatic, if you're taking a slow turn, a U-turn at a red light or whatever, and you're in the sport mode, it could like suddenly shift to second gear when you're in the apex and, scare the hell out of you. So a lot of people are talking about how you handle that is ride the foot brake, keep it in tour mode, or even go to economy mode where you calm the engine down until you make your turn. All that's hogwash. I got the truth for you. They got a problem with their bike, and I'm going to tell you what it is in a minute. I promise. So I'm riding the bike, and I decide, what is this sport mode? I watch some more YouTube videos. These guys are raving about how fast it is. So I switch it. It's just a finger toggle on the handlebar up here, and you see it on the dash. It says economy, a tour, then it says sport. And you feel the bike all of a sudden gear down, and it's like ready to go. And so I said, let's go. And I started going. And you can manually shift it, or you can let it do it by itself. And I haven't done the manual much. I just let it do it by itself. But it wouldn't shift. It hung up. I mean, that thing was redlining. It was, look, I know it's supposed to rev longer in sport mode because it's to give it more power, but it's not supposed to blow the motor up or redline or just hold there in third or fourth. And you're doing 50, 60 miles an hour and the engine just screaming. Something's not right. Just like when I got it back down from Georgia and the engine was going, something ain't right. So I called the dealer and they said, battery. First thing I said, battery, it's gotta be battery. I'm like, really? So I said, well, I'll buy a battery then. and I'll go to Batteries Plus because I watched some more YouTube videos, and this guy put in a Duracell, which is the same equivalent battery, but better, a little stronger, but within the parameters, but it has a 2-year warranty versus a 1-year warranty. And there was rumor about some of these factory OEM Yasawa, I guess they're called, batteries that were going dead or having a problem. So I ordered the battery, and I went down to Batteries Plus here in town, just down the street actually. And I thought, well, you know what? Instead of going down there and getting it in my truck here and then bringing it back and just putting it in, by the grace of God, I got this brilliant idea. How about removing this battery, take it to them, because there's a core charge, you know, and have them test it before I buy the new battery. So I called them up and said, if I bring in my old one, can you test it first though, just to see if it's any good or not? And if it is good, can I cancel my sale? And they go, absolutely. You haven't even took it out of here yet. So I go down there. They got the best battery tester you ever seen in your life. Okay, they put it on there, they got this dial, they crank it up beyond the cranking amps, and it tests fine. It tests fine. So I'm like, well, that saved me $125, $140. So I come back and I'm saying, well, it ain't the battery. And that's one less thing I got to worry about. So now, unfortunately, that means, because see, the dealer was telling me, when you got a low voltage battery, all kind of crap happens to a Goldwing. All kinds of warnings and codes and erratic behavior and all these things. And I believe that. I do believe it. But I didn't have that problem. I had another problem. And likely, a lot of Goldwingers out there have got this problem and don't even know it. And I'm going to get to that in just a minute. I promise. So I'm eliminating that issue. And now, when I also bought this bike, I was very fortunate to get a warranty. And it was still under factory warranty for 2 more weeks, but I wasn't going to be back to Florida for 3 weeks, and the warranty would have expired. So I'm thinking, go home now and take that bike in before the warranty ends. But I did have an extended warranty. The extended warranty that I have, get this, if you buy a new Goldwing, and I highly recommend you do, if you buy, it's kind of expensive, you buy the Honda Care extended warranty 5 years after the 3 years. It's unlimited mileage, and you know what it covers? The exact same thing the factory warranty covers. So you're getting 8 years. That's how confident they are in these motorcycles that that is a very good machine. The only thing that's not covered after the 3-year factory warranty ends, and for whatever reason, I don't know why, is the radio. Okay? But everything else with no deductible for 5 additional years, 60 months, is just like the factory warranty. It's not a third-party warranty company. It's not something with a deductible. It doesn't have exclusions. It obviously doesn't cover oil changes and gas and tires and maintenance. That's your responsibility. We all know that. So I'm like, bonus, man. Not only do I got all these options the second owner put on it, I've got a full warranty. And guess what? Neither one of them got to use 1 day of that because they were both owners during the first 3 years. And I got it at the very end of that. And then since I've owned it, I had 2 weeks of the factory warranty, and now I get to enjoy the full 60 months of the full factory warranty on this bike, which I'm so glad I have. But it really wouldn't have been too bad when I tell you what the issue was. And likely other Goldwingers with DCT automatic transmissions, depending on where you bought it, you've got the same problem and you don't even know it. And I'm going to tell you what that is in just a minute. I promise. So I'm riding it and the gear won't shift. Back to what I said 5 minutes ago, maybe 10. It won't shift. So now we got to go to the dealer. Now they got a thing. Don't start. You're ahead of me. You're ahead of me. They got a thing you can do. The owner can do. What is it? You can push the drive and neutral button, because it's an automatic, remember, by doing a sequence of drive, neutral, neutral, drive, 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 neutral. You know, it's like, I don't know, some kind of a PlayStation game. You put in the secret sequence without the engine running, and then you start it, and then you hear the transmission going clunk, clunk, clunk. It's going through this, it's resetting the DCT, dual clutch transmission. And this is something that you can do. This is something they even recommend doing, like after a fluid change, like an oil change, or if you go from synthetic to regular or regular to synthetic, because the clutch operates on the same motor oil as the engine oil. It's all the same. It's all in one cavity. So I'm like, I'll fix it. I don't need a dealer. I'll do the DCT reset. It's called the initialization or something like that. Reinitialization, something like that. Reset. And I thought it fixed it. I went out and drove it right afterwards, and it was shifting. But again, I wasn't using that sport mode so much. And I didn't really get out on the road and go fast. Well, the other day I'm riding it, and what happened? It wouldn't shift. I made a video. I got it on video. The thing is winding out like it's going to blow up. And so to the dealer it went. I said, go into the dealer. That's it. I got the warranty. So I took it in there, and because of the battery issue that I talked about a few minutes ago, I was warned by the service writer, the person that writes up the ticket, that, oh, it's probably your battery. I'm like, well, I was going to buy one, and I took it over there, and they tested my battery, and they said, no problem. Your battery is good. And they said to me, well, did you check the health? Did they check the health of it? I'm like, I don't know. They said it was good. I said, go ahead, check it. Do whatever it takes, fix it. You know, I want the bike to work. And so then I get online, I'm Googling AI and Google Genesis, and in my community, some of you out there were commenting, talking about, resetting the computer and the ECM, and everybody was really hot. I mean, it was like a hot stone, man. We were close, but no cigar. And now, here's what it was. And here's what many people out there driving a DCT have an issue with. I don't want to say many. I really don't know. But there are some. And that is this, folks. When the bike arrives at the Honda dealer, brand new, there's an assembly that has to be done. And it comes in on a cage, a crate, all caged in, very well packaged, as you can imagine. $35,000, $33,000 motorcycle. And the technicians are to go through a complete assembly. Part of that assembly, folks, is setting the parameters of the DCT transmission in each of those 4 modes: Tour, Sport, Economy, and Rain. And each one on the computer that only Honda dealers have, not that little reset thing I just talked about a minute ago that you can do. This is something they do. And guess what? They get paid to set these bikes up. And then they in turn charge the customer, I'm sure. But I was told by my Honda dealer, who is an amazing Honda dealer. I'm so fortunate to have one that's so thorough. The guy that fixed my bike for me, 40 years experience and 40 years at the same location. And the dealership's been there since 1947. Long before Goldwings were even made. But anyway, they're also a BMW store. I was informed that a lot of Honda dealers put the seat on, put the oil in it, do whatever, hook up the battery cables and this and that, put it on the showroom, say, there you go. There's your shiny new Goldwing, come get it. And it starts, it shifts, and out the door you go. But you don't have what I have. You don't have, some of you, most of you hopefully have what I have. But these dealers, I've been told, don't do the parameter setting on each mode, which is something the dealer is supposed to do. And so people buy the bike and they go out there and it seems to shift, and they're making great videos on YouTube about how wonderful it is, this new automatic. And mostly I would hope that a lot of those videos have one that was done correctly at assembly at the dealer. But my dealer told me when I went in there that we're not going to get paid to do this for you under the warranty because we've never been paid. So in other words, it's not the first time. On doing something that the original dealer was supposed to have done. It's nothing I've done. So there is a, kind of a fine line there. I've got a motorcycle with a warranty and it's defective and it's not my fault and it needs to be fixed. But the dealer that that did it for me, that put it on the computer, and it wasn't expensive. It was like a half-hour labor because the computer is so special. So it's pretty quick to do. But you go through each one of those modes and you set the parameters. And that idle I told you about that was erratic, that shifting issue I told you about, and going in from like tour to the next one that took a second, or you had to slow down or get out of the gas before it actually engaged. Folks, this thing runs. I've never owned a Goldwing until today. All the previous ones I have don't even compare because they weren't automatics, number one. This one, the two people that owned it before me don't have any idea what they had. Okay, they never got to drive it once because the parameters were not set. They call them faults, and there were many faults according to the technician at the Honda dealer. And so they sent in to the warranty company to pay for it, of which they're going to do what the other dealer didn't do that sold it in Illinois, all right, in 2022, which was what? Just after pandemic and stuff like that. Maybe they didn't have any help, I don't know. But anyway, apparently this dealer has gotten them in before and they've had to set the parameters and they've charged the customer because they say they've never been reimbursed from the factory to do what some other dealer was supposed to have done. But here's what I got now. Here's the end, the crescendo, the end of the video. What I want to tell you, I've never owned a Goldwing before until today. The idle of this engine, this, first of all, starting it. The day I bought it, when the guy started for me, I'm like, ooh, kind of a loud sounding clunk. And I hear them on YouTube. I think they need to be set. Kind of a loud clunk. And then the idle, it runs like a Honda, like it's supposed to. You're not supposed to be able to hear it hardly. Just smooth. Definitely isn't supposed to also oscillate and pulse. And so I drove it back as quick as I could click my finger to shift from tour to sport to economy to rain, as quick as that thing lit up. And then I went through each shifting. I slowed down and went through the gears on each mode a couple of times, all the way home. Very distinguished, I mean, when I went into economy, the thing went shift, 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 boo, because it's designed to get you in that final gear as quick as possible to save gas. She's a dog, she's chilling, okay? Rain, I forget what that's supposed to do. I think it adjusts the suspension too, does something. And then a sport, forget it. The way that thing shifts now, the torque and the shifting pattern and what RPM it gets to. Now, if I just hold it and take off, just lightly, it's gonna go, but it holds because it's a sport mode. It's being sport. But if I wanna give it gas, it'll hold longer, but when it shifts, it's smooth. No clunking, no slamming. And then when I stop at a red light and I go back to tour or even on the fly, it clicks it right into the word comes up. It doesn't blink for like 10 seconds before it goes in, or I got to slow down and let it catch up and engage. It goes right in it. And then when you're at the red light, it's just purring. I mean, just purring. This is a brand new motorcycle with $5,000 worth of options on it. An airbag model, and probably debatable, the second or the best color they've ever made. The blues and the reds are two of the most outstanding colors. And some of the blues in the past had a bunch of silver right here, and that was pretty too. But this one is called Glint Wave Blue. I think it's just beautiful. And it runs like a brand new, because it is brand new. And I've got 5 years, longer than the factory warranty, of complete 100% coverage with roadside assistance. The guy actually bought that. The dealer told me, I don't know why you have that, because nobody buys that usually. They just add it to their insurance on the bike, like I have Geico. I said, well, ma'am, I didn't buy it. I inherited it. Somebody else paid for that, so I didn't spend my money on that. But I appreciate what you're saying, that the extended warranty is worth it, but the towing part, you can just add it to your bike insurance. But I got it. I've got it all. And I am so excited about getting on that bike now, heading down to the Keys, heading across country, heading all over, never coming home. I'm gonna buy a tent. I got a trailer hitch that's on the back with a basket rack. I got all these things I wanna do. I've got my my helmet rigged up with my DJI mic. I've been watching a lot of videos on how to get my audio in my helmet. I am still using my iPhone to do videos, which is kind of cheesy. I'm wearing this thing around my neck versus putting the thing on the handlebar. If I really get into this moto vlogging, I will have to probably just invest into a 360, a 360, whatever it is, a camera, or a DJI camera, or the Hero, one of those, what do they call it? Not the Hero, it's called the little small cameras. They're not phones, they're just cameras. So, but right now I'm going on the cheap, and I'm buying motorcycle boots, motorcycle jackets, lightweight mesh shirts for the hot weather down here. I got a face shield for my camera, for my Shoei Neotech 3. I was dogging that too because I couldn't see through the clear shield. The sun is so bright. Today when I rode it back and the machine is running like it should, and I had this new Spectra Blue $170 shield. Now I know why they charge $170. It completely gives you the best vision and no sunlight. It must be polarized or something. It is so amazing, and it looks good too. So the things that I'm adding to it, and I've spent a little bit of money myself, but I didn't have to buy all these other things that the guy put on it. I'm, to my good fortune, that dealer didn't perform their job. And the two guys that owned it before never took it back apparently and had it checked. Maybe they didn't ride it enough to see. Maybe they never put it in sport mode and had it hang up. I don't know. But to my good fortune, both of them didn't want the bike very quickly and didn't give it away, but didn't hold out for the top price either. They wanted it gone. And I got a really, really good deal on this motorcycle. And, with the extras I've got, I mean, I won't lose any money. I could make money today, but it's not for sale. And then for those out there that have a DCT from 2018 or whenever they started it until today, make sure you call your dealer and you find out for sure that they did perform the mode to get, there's faults. The dealer told me, the mechanic there, it's 40 years. Okay, take it from me, this is the gospel. They come in with faults. They have to clear these faults. So make sure that the bike you bought, that wasn't one of these dealers that said, it's good enough, it shifts, that the faults were cleared so you can finally see what it's really like, that DCT automatic transmission, of how it shifts down, how it shifts up. So smooth, so amazing, and each mode goes in like that. The word changes like that. If yours is not doing that, then you need to go and have yours checked. You need to call that dealer. You need to go in and talk to the service manager. You don't need somebody to tell you, oh yeah. No, show me. I mean, I would be emphatic about it, because if you ever get fortunate enough to ride a real Goldwing DCT, then you'll know you're crushing it.